exactly 10 years ago.
This aircraft was 5 miles out, and all of a sudden we have no response to that aircraft.
Flight 3407 fell out of the sky and into a home at Clarence Center.
Report of a plane crash and a house on fire.
50 people, including one woman who was 7 months pregnant, died.
Everybody lost their person at 10:17 p.m.
The families who lost loved ones that night banded together for a fight they took to Washington.
I wrote a letter to every member of Congress who had anything to do with aviation.
Their efforts secured changes meant to address pilot fatigue and a lack of training.
I think we have safer skies as a result of it.
Tuesday night, these same families come together once again, this time to mark 10 years since the crash that almost broke them, to say once more, we will never forget. All right, you are looking live at Clarence Center right now. In the box here, this is the site where Flight 3407 crashed exactly 10 years ago. Tonight at 10:17, that will mark the exact moment that the flight came down on Long Street in a home that used to be there, no longer there. You can see the families, lots of umbrellas out there. They have made their way from the church service just down the road in Clarence Center to Long Street, the former Walensky home, the site of the former Walensky home, where Flight 3407 crashed exactly 10 years ago. At 10:17 p.m., at that moment, everyone gathered there. You see them. We'll pause for a moment of silence to remember all of the lives lost that night. As we do say hello again, everyone, I'm Casey Bortnick. Thanks for watching Spectrum News live here at 10 o'clock. We'll join that moment of silence exactly when it happens. But right now, let's send things over to Todd Kirkman. He joins us live in the Weather Center. And Todd, lots of umbrellas out there tonight. Pretty rainy night.
Look for flurries and squalls tomorrow. Temps in the 20s and dropping as the afternoon progresses. Casey?
Certainly something to keep an eye on into that morning commute, like you mentioned. Todd Kirkman, live at the Weather Center. Todd, thank you. Let's give you one more live look at the crash site where the families are gathered as we speak. Earlier tonight, just down the road from what you're looking at right now, a memorial service at the Zion Lutheran Church included a carnation ceremony. The former NTSB chairwoman, Miracle on the Hudson first officer, all spoke at this ceremony.
Through your sacrifice, through your perseverance, a small group of determined people rebalanced the scales of safety for the rest of us.
I witnessed the work, commitment, and dedication of you, the families of Continental Flight 3407. And I also can speak to the result because I still work as an airline pilot today. You have honored the passing of your loved ones with your noble, dogged, and steadfast commitment to protecting the safety of the traveling public.
All right, I want to take you back live to the crash site at Clarence Center, the site where Flight 3407 crashed exactly 10 years ago tonight. Names of the loved ones lost, names of the 50 people lost when that flight crashed 10 years ago being read aloud. Now let's listen in live.
And my uncle, Chief Master Sergeant John J. Fiore. Donna L. Prisco, Matilda Quintero, Ferris M. Reed, Marvin Dean Renslow, Julie Reese, John G. Roberts III, Kristen Marie Saffron, Rebecca Lynn Shaw, Dipender Sidhu, and our son Coleman Timothy Mellett.
Jean Marie Marzoff Sirnes, Darren Tolsma, Susan Alice Wheel, Ernie West, Douglas C. Walensky, Shabin Yao, Henry Clay Yarber Jr., Joseph Cefaletto, Nicole Korzakowski, and our son, Jonathan R. Perry.
Curtis Kalsner, you want to come up here, please? Pastor Steve Bigner, are you here?
You are watching our live coverage of this memorial service here, a candlelight vigil at the crash site, the site where Flight 3407 crashed exactly 10 years ago tonight. This is Long Street and Clarence Center, where the plane crashed on the former Walensky home. We are keeping you kind of updated on this memorial service right now. We can tell you at 10:17 p.m. there will be a moment of silence. We're going to take a little break right now, step away, get you a weather update. We'll be back, though, for that moment of silence coming up at 10:17. Stay with us.
To those that we love.
All right, Flight 30 crashed at 10:17, 10 years ago tonight. Right now, the families are gathered at the scene of the crash, entering a moment of silence. Let's pause and listen in.
That's going to conclude our service for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. There's luminaries with the name of everyone we lost over there if you want to go over and take a picture or just remember your loved one. And again, first responders, we are so grateful that you guys come voluntarily and do this and spend your time and your energy and We're very grateful that you were here tonight. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. And my 3407 family members, you're awesome. Rain, shower, you kept pushing on, you kept doing it, and we all love each other, and that's great. Thanks so much.
All right, there you have it. You can see first responders there. You are looking live at the crash site, the site where Flight 3407 crashed, exactly 10:17 p.m. on February 12th, 2009, exactly 10 years ago. We're coming up on 10:17 here, just about 15 seconds or so, but the family observing that moment of silence and the first responders there a little bit early. We'll let you know when we hit that moment, 10:17. That is the moment recognized by everyone involved when Flight 3407 came crashing down into that home on Long Street. 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago. We have hit 10:17, exactly 10:17 p.m. here in Western New York, the exact moment when Flight 3407 came crashing down exactly 10 years ago. It's a moment where, as Karen Eckert would say, the sister of Beverly Eckert, that everyone lost their person at 10:17 p.m. Everyone gathered there tonight, all family members, all losing loved ones 10 years ago. 50 people killed when Flight 3407 crashed in Clarence Center, affecting so many here in Western New York, and of course, everyone gathered at that crash site tonight. We'll step aside right now. We'll get you updated with your latest Weather on the Ones forecast. We'll be back with much more from all these memorial services tonight, a little bit later, right here on Spectrum News. Stay with us. Even as 10 years have passed, the families of Flight 3407 remember February 12, 2009, as if it was yesterday. Pain of losing loved ones still as fresh today as it was back then. They gathered at a number of events on Tuesday to mark a decade since Flight 3407 crashed in Clarence Center, killing 50 people, including a woman who was 7 months pregnant. As they embraced their sorrow, remembering their lost loved ones, they also celebrated their legislative accomplishments, securing safer skies for you and me. Our news reporter Alex Haight has been with the families all evening. He joins us now from the crash site on Long Street with more. Alex?
Casey, it was truly a special scene just a short time ago. People walking down the street here in Clarence Center, all carrying a candle and, of course, an umbrella with this inclement weather that we have here tonight. Just a powerful scene, and probably the most powerful was when first responders lined a corner as they all turned to come over here. Right here at 10:17, the time of the crash 10 years ago, first responders and families of the victims gathered around as the 50 names of those who were lost were read off. That special ceremony here at the crash site was preceded by a memorial service down the road at Zion Lutheran Church. The speakers at the memorial included a representative from the Red Cross who helped families cope in the days following the crash, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, also First Officer of the Miracle on the Hudson, Jeff Skiles, and former NTSB Chairman Deborah Hersman. Both Hersman and Skiles spoke glowingly of the advocacy work the families have done in the last 10 years, calling them instrumental in today's much safer skies.
Make no mistake, there are dozens, even hundreds of people alive today who are going about their productive lives, who would not be doing so without the work that you have done and that you are continuing to do. I'm sure that this is small consolation placed against the enormity of your loss, but you achieved a tremendous legacy in your loved ones' names.
And my association with you is a highlight of my life, personally and professionally. And until I moved last month, I don't have an office anymore in Silicon Valley, by the way. Until I moved last month, I had an office. And your signed 3407 poster that you gave me hung in my office. And I was reminded of you every day.
And several of the speakers noted that every time that they saw people wearing red, just as all of them did this evening, they knew that they were just a force to be reckoned with. That color, the color of love, They were just so effervescent. They knew that they were going to get things done. Once again, just a truly special scene, and just a proper way to take care of all those who are in attendance tonight. It certainly seemed like they all appreciate it. Casey?